You're listening to the CVS show on Phonic FM 106.8, bringing news from the voluntary and community sector in Exeter. Exeter CVS runs the local volunteer centre, offers affordable learning in IT, management and personal development, and gives membership support to charities and community groups across the city. Visit www.exetercvs.org.uk or call 01392 20 20 55 to find out more. The CVS Show, exploring the nation's second favourite pastime. Go to www.exetercvs.org.uk to find out how you can make a difference in your community.
Indeed, those howling wolves kind of fit the weather at the moment, I think, don't they?
They do. I love them. I love our howling wolves.
I love it.
The elephant.
The elephant. There's an elephant trumpeting in there somewhere.
There is an elephant trumpeting somewhere.
And then we have the loon trumpeting in both senses, possibly.
Possibly.
I don't think anyone has jingles like the CVS show.
No, I think they're specially made for us.
Yeah, very expensive.
Yes.
Or done by the shores of Lake Tanganyika, probably. Welcome to the show. It's the CVS show on Thursday afternoon. And I'm joined by Emily from the Volunteer Centre.
Hi.
And Karen from Exeter Library.
Hi.
And we're going to be talking all about the library for the next sort of half an hour to an hour and finding out what's going on there and how people can get involved. It's quite a place now, isn't it?
It is indeed. We've been open since May and we've had a phenomenal 317,488 visitors through the door.
That's like a third of a million people.
It is amazing, yeah.
It's astounding, actually. It's an astounding figure.
It is, isn't it? So many people I speak to nowadays through my work talk about the library, and I was chatting to a guy yesterday who's got sight problems, and he said, when I go to the library I have to get the books with the big words in. But everyone mentions the library as though it's kind of some community hub almost. That's how it feels.
I think it has become that. I mean, it always has been quite a central part of Exeter, but I think since the reopening in May we've become even more of that, and I think we feel that we're much more part of the city now, and I think we're accessible to all. So I think that there isn't anywhere else that anybody can come in, they can sit down, they can read a book from 9 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night. Nobody will bother them.
Yeah.
Nobody will ask them for any money.
Yeah.
It's just that's what we do.
What a lovely facility that is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of the best inventions of humanity is the library, isn't it?
It is, and I think there's quite a lot of bad press around libraries at the moment. Sadly, some are closing, but I think we've bucked the trend with that, and I think we've shown that libraries can be innovative. We've got the Fab Lab.
That is fab, that lab. Yeah.
Our fabrication laboratory. We've got we're part of a enterprising library scheme, which is nurturing enterprise in the city, encouraging people to look at starting their own businesses and linking that in with the Fab Lab. And we've got traditional library books. We've got a lot of books. We've got over 150,000 items.
Wow.
We have DVDs, we have CDs, and it's free to join. You can come in, you need no ID.
Oh yeah, talk me through the joining, because
I would like to say I joined the library probably a month after it opened.
Yeah.
It was the simplest process ever, and I think it took all of about 4 minutes. Really welcoming. The lady that did it for me, Lizzie was her name, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so she was good because you remembered her name.
Yeah, I did remember her name, and it was just very easy, and the service was outstanding.
Great, that's lovely to hear.
So how does it? Because I do meet people who say, I say, why don't you go to the library? Oh, I'm not a member. Oh, that's tricky. But how does it work?
Basically, you come in, you find a member of staff, come to our welcome point, and a member of staff will find a member of staff for you. And then we'll take you to one of our help points, and basically we ask for your name, your address, date of birth, email address, things like that. Give you a card. And then you can have up to 12 books for free. You can have 2 hours free internet access a day. You can hire DVDs and music CDs. There are charges for those.
Yeah.
But that's it, and you get your card. And you can access.
Sorted.
Yeah, you can renew online. You can order books from home. It's a really, really simple process. You don't need any ID. So
fantastic.
Do you know, that's the bit that I like, because I took a book out and it was due back the next day. And I could renew it online for another week, and that was stonking, because in the past, during my university days in Exeter, I was always had charges because I was always late getting the books back because I was still using them, and but so being able to do it online was, for me, brilliant.
That is really handy. And also, can you kind of search for books, the catalogue online? You used to be able to do that.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can search them by keyword, author, title. You can do that. You can do that in the library, or you can do it at home as well. So you can reserve books online at home, and then you'll get an email to say they're in. You just pop in and collect them.
Fantastic.
It's we've tried to make it as easy as possible because we want it to be accessible for all. So I think that works really well. I think
No, that is what people want to hear.
Yeah.
So this 317,000 people is going to kind of get higher and higher and higher. That is a huge figure.
It is. It's. I mean, we had about 650,000 in the old library visits a year, and if we're on, looking at that figure, we're sort of averaging about 2,500 a day at the moment.
Wow.
This Sunday we've had 800 people in 4 hours, which we're open on Sundays from 12 until 4, and that was one of our busiest Sundays so far. So Sundays, is another thing that we offer. We didn't open on Sundays before, so it's nice to be open from 12 till 4, so people can come in, families. We do a family bounce and rhyme once a fortnight on a Sunday. So
that sounds good.
That sounds fab, actually.
Yes. We do a really popular bounce and rhyme on a Tuesday morning, 10 till we close the children's library between 10 and 12, and we move all the furniture back. And due to the popularity of that, we've actually had to put 2 sessions on, because we were getting about 80 families, so that's 80 buggies is a lot in the children's library. So by putting one on at 10:15 and one at 11, then we're spreading it across, and it seems to be working a lot better now. But we started doing the Sunday ones to try and encourage families who maybe work in the week. And we had about 20 to the session this Sunday, so that's another thing that we're offering.
My goodness, and that's before word of mouth has got about.
Yes, definitely.
Of course,
And I think what I also really love about the library now, that it is kind of like that community hub, because it's got a cafe. And I think that makes a huge difference, that people can get their books, read, but also go and sit down,
Absolutely.
have a chat. And I hear more and more people are coming to the library cafe instead of using one of the other cafes in town, because it's actually a very safe space to be.
Absolutely. I think you've
hit the nail on the head.
That's the word. Yes. Because people do think of it as a safe space. It is a place that you can come and and nobody will bother you, and it's lovely. It's got lovely seating, and it's warm, and all the things that everybody would want, really. And when we did a lot of public engagement around the library redevelopment, the cafe was one thing that came out as being what people wanted. The other was public toilets, which we now have. Another one was an entrance to the park.
Of course,
goes
that's
out
lovely.
to Rougemont Gardens, which is lovely, and we've got the patio area outside, so that you can sit and have your coffee out there in the summer. It's we sort of listened to what people wanted, and those things have shown that they were because they're used really well. So.
There is that sense of safety there. It's like almost like an amnesty on the place. It's like anybody can go in there. It belongs to everybody. I think that's a really good feeling about it, and widening the amount of people who are going to go in as well, because sometimes in the past with libraries you think, well, it's just for people doing academic stuff or people just into their books, but there's a bit of everything going on in there, really, isn't there?
I think even more so with the Business and Information Hub, which you can hire to promote services like yours. Organisations can come in, they can hire the space for the day, and they can put up their pop-up banners and, you know, target, you know, an audience that they want. They can use our audience because we, you know, like I said, we have 2,500 people a day coming through the doors. Not many places that you can go to you're going to get that footfall. So that's a really good place to use, and that's pretty much right next to the Fab Lab, which you know, that's bringing a whole new audience in for us. You know, sort of our, you know, technology wise, we've always been popular for our PC and our public access PCs, which they're, you know, busy every day, and now we have Wi-Fi throughout the building, which again, our upstairs quiet area is packed every day with students, you know, people working, people just want to go and, you know, have some quiet time really. But the Fab Lab brings in, we've had a number of volunteers that's being run by volunteers at the moment, and they're bringing their skills in to show other people how to use the equipment.
Brilliant.
So that's really, really interesting.
Well, we'll talk about the Fab Lab.
I was going to say, I really want to know all about the Fab Lab because I thought you were lucky enough to have the tour and I couldn't make it that day.
Yeah, Dave and
so
I went round,
you understand it all. So I'm very jealous that I haven't been. So
it is
I'm
good.
sure we can arrange for you to come and have a tour.
I must come, Karen.
I just wanted to talk about the opening because it's been interesting for me. It opened on a Thursday, and so every Thursday morning I'm in here with Andy. Andy and I do a breakfast show, and so as it was all happening over the months, we would come out here, turn left, and walk past, and sort of have a quick look, see what the latest progress is, wonder what's going on inside there. And then the opening morning, we walked past, and it was the longest queue I'd ever seen. So were you there on the opening day? What was it like?
It was amazing. Yeah, I was there. I was on the front door as we opened, and we had a little girl who came in, and she was the first borrower to come into the new building. So that was really nice. It was amazing. It was non-stop that day, completely. And the comments we got were so positive. People love it. You know, they love the space. They love the light of, you know, being able to look out into the park.
So light, it's lovely.
They're just really excited about it, and that's really nice for the staff to hear. Because, you know, we were over in the temporary building for sort of 18 months, and that was a little bit less accessible. You know, it had an old lift that went upstairs, and so I think to come in and be wowed by the foyer area, which is fairly wowable. And then I don't think, you know, I think it's very hard to come in and not be wowed by that space.
It's an amazing space.
It is.
It's a rival to some of the university spaces, definitely.
I think, you know, we've been overwhelmed with how much, you know, positivity has been around the space and how people like it and how they feel. You know, that they've been part of helping shape it, I think, because of the public consultation. I think it's been really, really great. The first day was exhausting but really fun. We were all sort of you know, on adrenaline that day because we wanted to get it just right. And it really went so smoothly. You know, I think because we prepared, we had a month when we were closed prior to, so we had everything set up, and it was beautiful inside. All the books were, you know, like a huge bookshop that had, you know, not been touched.
I love that. That's great.
We for weeks we were working in there trying to get it ready, but the books were on the shelves, but we weren't, you know, we couldn't touch them because they were there for the day, and it just looked amazing. I don't think I'll ever be able to, you know, replicate the feeling of that day because it was really, really an amazing thing to be part of, and you know, I'm very proud to be part of that. So.
I can imagine. It's a good thing to be a part of. Do you want to talk about the Fab Lab? Should we talk about the Fab Lab?
Or should we have some music and then talk about the Fab?
Have a tune.
Yes, have a tune.
Because we've got tunes from people who work at the library, so I'll put them on a playlist and we'll run through those.
The CVS Show on Phonic FM. Find out more about community and voluntary work in Exeter at www.exetercvs.org.uk. Visit us weekdays 9:30 to 4:30 on King William Street or call 01392 20 20 55.
Indeed, come and see us, and obviously if you're in the middle of Exeter, you've got to go to the library. That's what we're talking about. The Fab Lab. That's what we want to know about, Karen. Tell us all about the Fab Lab.
Well, the Fab Lab, for people who don't know what a Fab Lab is, it is a fabrication laboratory, and it's a space where anyone can pretty much make anything. It's digital because all the machines are controlled by computers, and in order to make something you need to create a model on the computer first.
Okay.
So it could be a 2D file, such as a photograph or a drawing, or a 3D file, which is created by specialised software for engineering, and also an animation like they use in the Disney Pixar films.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So the lab's got it's got 5 3D printers. They all work in the same way, which is a cross between a hot melt glue gun and piping icing onto a cake to write your name.
Okay,
So yeah, it's you have to come and see it. It's a really interesting process to watch. It's you create a 3D model, and the software that drives the printer slices into the model in layers.
Yeah.
And then it draws each layer on top of another to build a 3D shape.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like a child drawing an outline and then colouring it in.
Okay, yeah.
Because you're colouring it in with thick ink, your drawing is 1/4 of a millimetre thick, and therefore you draw layer upon layer and you end up with a solid model of your original computer file.
Wow.
So we've also got textile processing equipment, a computer-controlled embroidering machine into which you can feed 2D photos or drawings. We have a vinyl cutter. It looks like a printer, but it's got a sharp knife in the print head, and it cuts vinyl and sticky back plastic, so you could use it for creating signs or cutting vinyl to print T-shirts.
Oh, excellent, yeah.
We also have a hot press.
Yeah.
This isn't computer controlled, it's basically a large iron. And again, it's using for transferring the prints and vinyls onto T-shirts and textiles.
So people can come and do their own T-shirt stuff?
They can, yeah. At the moment we're running it on a volunteer model, and the volunteers are basically people who can use the equipment already, and then they're sort of skill sharing to share those skills with other people. So at the moment we've got the Fab Labs open on a sort of drop-in basis. We haven't got sort of opening times as yet, but if you pop into the library, if the door's open, then feel free to drop in. If you wanted to come in and make an appointment, you can email the fablab.org email address. There's a website as well, so you can have a look on there. We've got a CNC router machine.
The router was amazing. They were putting in a huge piece of wood, and then it was just cutting out a guitar.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing.
Incredible.
It's CNC stands for computer numerical control, and it cuts the material away to form a 3D shape, which is like you're saying, the guitar.
Yeah.
And that was a bit of old kitchen worktop.
It was an old kitchen worktop. Yeah.
So we've got lots of opportunities, not just for people who are wanting to start their own business, but we've had quite a lot of interest from the artistic community who, especially with textiles, people who want to use the laser cutter and the engraver. So you can basically cut it's sort of like sheets of plastic, and you can engrave onto that, sort of burns like with a laser. And it the machine processes 2D drawings and cuts outlines and photograph or engraving artwork. So it's a we've got some really clever kit in there. And in the Fab Lab you can see samples of the 3D printing, the laser cutting and the engravers. And some of the things that have been made, there's a skull in there which was basically made up of the CT scans, because obviously that's a series of photos, and then somebody has put those into the computer aided design and then made, and then the 3D print. It's amazing. It works on a non-profit basis at the moment, and we're looking to think of it as sort of maybe like a gym membership. So you would pay a subscription for the year, and then this would get you inducted and permitted to work in the room, and then you book a time to come in and work with the volunteers to make something. It's not important to have the specific skills, because that's what the volunteers are for. And in order to give something back to the lab community, you'd be asked to write up your project, and so that other people can maybe make something similar.
Okay, that's a really good idea.
And we do taster courses as well.
Yeah.
And they're 1 hour courses that give you a basic overview of what you can do in the lab.
Yes.
So all the details can be found on the Fab Lab Devon website, which is fablabdevon.org.
Okay, so people can go on there, see what taster courses are coming up, book themselves in.
They book really quickly. Literally, we put them on in the evening, and they're pretty much, because we can only offer sort of a small group to get the best. They pretty much book up straight away. So keep looking, and we do ones with a Raspberry Pi.
Oh, I've seen that in there. Yeah.
We do Raspberry Pi taster days. I think the next one of those is the 6th of December, and we have our Raspberry Pi jam once a month. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
Excuse me.
And yes.
So, is there a charge for those taster courses?
No, there isn't at the moment.
Okay.
No. I think if you have a look on, they're all bookable through Eventbrite, so no, they're all free at the moment.
I mean, it's good, and I think the charges aren't particularly high for anything.
No,
anyway,
I think if there are charges, they'll be sort of minimal. They're only, like I say, to cover the costs of the equipment, and maybe if you're doing something with a 3D printer, then there would be the cost of just the materials. Yeah.
So Karen, if somebody wanted to volunteer within the Fab Lab, is that something that they could come forward to do an induction, do some training, and then actually be like a regular volunteer there?
I think yes, with the Fab Lab, that would be again to go through their website, and there is a place on there for you to add your details to be a volunteer, and then Mike, who runs it at the moment, would be in contact with you.
Brilliant. People have got to go and have a look in there, and they have got to have a look at the website as well to see what it's all about.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's we've been nominated for being one of the most innovative libraries in the UK, for having the Fab Lab and the other, the Business and Information Hub. So we're really looking forward with our offer.
Oh no, it's great.
Yeah,
I think it's really nice to hear all three sectors together: third, private, and
public. So I suppose the library counts as the public sector, doesn't it?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're public.
So it's all three sectors working together.
It's
and
good, isn't it?
Created something incredible.
It has. It's a very exciting place to be, and I think if people come and have a look in the Fab Lab, I'm sure they'll be inspired to to find something there. I think there's something there for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Volunteering in general. So people coming forward to volunteer at the library. What other things? What can they get involved in?
We are looking for a number of volunteer roles at the moment, and we have a number of roles. We have IT volunteers, so that might be helping with our IT drop-in.
Okay.
Helping people to access computer courses, or just being able to get onto a computer at all, because we get on our IT drop-in on a Wednesday afternoon, we have people that haven't got a great deal of IT skills, so people to help support other people for IT. We have a meet and greet role, which is on our welcome point, which is basically being the face of Exeter Library when you come in, and help signposting people to where specific things are in the library, or help getting a member of staff to help them if they need that. We've got events volunteers, which would help with our ongoing programme of events, whether that might be children's. We have some volunteers who come in and help with Bounce and Rhyme. We've got next Thursday we've got one of our girls' night out, which is an author event. We've got an author called Amanda Prowse, who is coming to speak with us for the evening, and she's going to be, and we're going to have pop-up shops there, and
oh wow!
So you could get involved with helping with that.
So really, I mean, people who want to be involved, are passionate about Exeter Library, and want to be involved as a volunteer, they can move between roles and try different things.
They can. Yeah, I mean, they can say I'd like to be an events volunteer, or I'd like to be a meet and greet, or you could say I'd like to do all of them. We're really promoting. Come forward, tell us what you'd like to do, and if we've got a vast range of things that we could offer you. I think even if you don't want to do sort of library things, we've got like the Fab Lab, we've got
lots of people stuff.
If you like people, the library's the place to be, really. I think if you want a people focused role, I think it's ideal, really, because with that many people coming through the door every day, we've got plenty of them.
Yes, definitely. Well, I do meet people. I mean, I've got quite a few people at the moment who are doing some volunteering in places like Oxfam Bookshop, because they like books and they like people.
Absolutely. And, I think a lot of people are attracted to the library volunteer role because they do like books. But if you don't like books, it's not to say that that's not the role for you either, because we do have other things apart from books. So.
It might be good if you don't, because at least you'll focus on the volunteering and not creeping off reading books in the corner.
That would be me.
So we do have, if you are interested in coming forward to be a volunteer, you can either pop into the library and ask for a volunteer form, or you can email us on the exeter.library@devon.gov.uk.
We'll put all of that information in the article so people know exactly where to go.
On the website. And maybe can we download a copy of the form and we can get people to fill in with us as well?
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Yeah, that would be really good. So, and then just take it from there then. So they come to meet maybe yourself, Karen, or? Yeah,
it would be to meet Lorraine, who's the centre manager, and we have a process of we have a sort of an induction, where you fill in a expression of interest, and then you would have an induction, and then you would go from there, really. So it's
nice straightforward process, actually.
Very straightforward process.
And we're really looking, want to encourage people in the city to come forward and volunteer with us. And it's a lovely place to work. So.
I bet it is, actually. I mean, when I came and had a tour around, you've got some amazing rooms upstairs that people can use as well.
We have. We've got 5 meeting rooms altogether. And they accommodate from 4, which is our smallest meeting room, to 80, which is our Rougemont room. And you can also book the balcony and the lounge there. We've had quite a few conferences in there over the summer.
Is that the theatre room that goes onto the balcony?
Yes. It's a really nice space, it's particularly when it's a nice day, because you can break out into the lounge and then onto the balcony. We have the meeting rooms, which they're quite wide ranging, for maybe a small organisation that only wants a little meeting with 4 people, to a bigger organisation who wants to hold a seminar of 80. So
that's really good to know, actually, as well, for us, because we as an organisation, we have our meeting rooms. They get booked up, so we're always asked for other meeting rooms.
Again, it's all on the Exeter Library webpage. All details of our meeting rooms and charges are on there.
Okay, so we need to be directing people towards the website, actually, because there's a lot of information on there.
I think the volunteering roles are on there as well. So the devon.gov, or the library, Devon Library's webpage, and then look for Exeter Library.
It's amazing. I mean, it's adding another special quality to the city, I think, because this place has only... How long was this place? We're in the Phoenix. That's sort of 10, 12 years? Maybe a bit longer?
Longer than that, John. I think, I'm sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's
not old.
No, but it's really added something to the heart of the city, the art centre, the museum, the library now. It's got a real proper cultural city feel to it, hasn't it?
It is, and I think it's really nice having our neighbours here at the Phoenix and at RAM, and us being close in that little quarter. I think it's made a real difference to and I think because they're all linked through the park as well now, and through our entrance, it's much more flowing than it was before. So I think the park entrance has been really, really popular for us, and for people, just in the summer, it's just so lovely to see people sat out there, out on the grass reading a book, or sat out on the terrace with a coffee. It's great.
Yeah, that's brilliant stuff.
Phonic FM 106.8 FM.
Phonic FM, yes, we've been talking to Karen from the library about all the things to do with the library. It's been brilliant, actually. But before Karen goes, we just want to say we've been playing tracks from your colleagues and yourself, haven't we?
You have, yes.
So yours was Go West by the Pet Shop Boys.
It was.
And we had I Want to Dance With Somebody, the Whitney track.
That was for Emily.
That was for Emily. Oh, Emily's name's down here, yeah. Pharrell Williams, Happy.
That was just for everybody, really.
Okay. And the Shirley Bassey track we played, Get the Party Started, that was your kind of opening.
That was our anthem, yes. That was our little song that we played to the staff before we opened on opening day. So we wanted to, just
That's
to
brilliant.
Celebrate our how much hard work had gone in.
Yeah, exactly.
And what was the last track, John?
That was called Fascination by Alphabeat, and
that was from Joe.
So we will.
We need a bit of context to that song, Joe. So you're going to have to tell Karen.
Yeah, I do.
Karen's going to have to get back to us because we all think it's from a.
We think it's
film.
from a late 80s film. Yeah. Yeah.
There were big discussions in the studio over that song.
Yeah. And what else? We haven't been able to play all of them, but we'll try and fit them in while we're finishing off. We've had a bit of trouble trying to find a copy of Creep by Radiohead that we can play.
That was for Lorraine, so sorry to Lorraine.
Yeah, sorry Lorraine, we are working on the finding the clean version of that one. And what else was there? Oh, and Death Cab for Cutie as well. I'd like to play that one. That's a good track. Who is that for?
That's for Tim.
Okay, so we'll try and get them all paid, but we're going to have to let you go now, Karen.
Thank you.
And just thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for asking me.
It's been great. It's been really inspiring, hasn't it?
It was incredibly inspiring.
So people check out the article on our website to get all the links across, to get in touch with you guys. Come and use the library because it's an amazing space.
Yeah, pop in and see us, and if you'd like any more information, look on our website or look on your website. And we'd love to welcome you to Exeter Library.
I think it'd be absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.
And we're back on air, and we did manage to play everyone's songs eventually. We found a version of Creep that was playable.
And that was for Lorraine.
That was for Lorraine. And then we played for Tim, we played the Death Cab for Cutie song.
I really enjoyed that song.
Definitely worth checking out, Death Cab for Cutie. They're really good.
Yeah.
And then that last one was that track we were talking about, The Rhythm Divine, by Shirley Bassey in Yellow.
That's it.
Quite haunting. So now we're kind of moving into the trance section of the show.
Which means
it's time for the jewel in the crown of Exeter CVS, which is the Vollops.
The Vollops!
Okay, so I think you're kicking off the Vollops this week, aren't you?
I am kicking off. Shall I go, John?
Yeah, go for it.
Right, bring in the money. If you enjoy the thrill of fundraising and have an interest in international aid, the Baturi Project would love to hear from you. They're looking for people to help with their Christmas appeal, to raise money for food for the school children in Tanzania, and a permaculture programme so that they can grow their own food. If you're interested in this, call the lovely Judith Smith on 07513 213 257.
Yes, and there is going to be a big press release on our website coming up early next week, because a week Saturday, which is going to be the 29th, they're doing their big appeal in Exeter.
Oh, brilliant.
So we want people to get involved with that, go and donate money, go and get involved in the appeal. Judith is so lovely, isn't she? We've met a couple of times.
She's just really delightful woman.
And so we're going to try and get Judith to come on the show and talk about it all as well.
Yeah, we are.
But definitely there's going to be more to follow in that. It's an exciting project and a great thing to get involved with.
Absolutely. What's the next one, John?
Next one says, are you quick off the mark? If you are, then the British Red Cross is looking for people to join their fire and emergency support service. If you can be on call for them, sometimes even at unsociable hours, and you can provide essential help to people at times of crisis, then give Sophie Smith a call on 01392 353 276.
Brilliant, but I just want to quickly say that I got an email from Sophie yesterday. Sophie has now moved to a different department.
Oh, so it's not Sophie?
So it's not Sophie anymore, it's the lovely Mark Howells.
Oh, okay, yeah,
so you need to give Mark a call.
Probably the same number, just ask for Mark.
Just ask for Mark.
Yeah, great stuff. Really interesting thing to do. Yeah.
Brilliant.
What's the next one?
So, The font of all knowledge. And we've just had the font of all knowledge in, haven't we?
We have indeed.
So if you'd like to be surrounded with fantastic books, Devon Libraries would love to hear from you. They're looking for someone to coordinate their team of volunteers at Exeter Library by organising rotas, events and inductions. But as Karen actually told us, there's loads more volunteering opportunities at the library.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in any of that, then you can either go onto their website, which will be on our page later on this week, early next week, or you could speak to Joanne Launder on Exeter 01392 384 337. But listen to this show.
Yeah, listen to the show. It's all on the show, yeah. Everything you need to know.
Come on, John.
The next one.
Beam me up.
Yeah, we're going to beam you up now because it's join the crew of the Enterprise. Hospice care needs lots of people to help out in all aspects of their enterprise centre. From online selling as an Amazon and eBay whiz to sorting donated goods into different categories. And this could be anything from clothes, bric-a-brac, jewellery, shoes and handbags, and doing the hanging and the sizing, the tagging and the clothes, and considering this the Enterprise, maybe sort of sorting out, cleaning a few Klingons off of things if they've been clinging on too long.
And I'm sure they have.
Getting things ready for going in the shop. So if you're flexible and reasonably fit, and then you can boldly go and give Tracy Barrable a call on Exeter 01392 428824. We advertised that recently, but Tracy got in touch, so she had one person come forward, but she needs plenty more.
So go for it. It's a brilliant centre down there. Go boldly.
Go boldly, indeed.
It is.
And finally, which one have we got?
Are you feeling friendly?
Oh, I'm always feeling friendly.
Thought you might be, John. Right, the Alzheimer's Society is looking to match befrienders with people who have dementia to have social visits together. It may be going for a walk, bit of gardening, visits to a local landmark, or just have a cup of tea and a chat. If you have a few hours to spare, then give the lovely John Fawkes a call on Exeter 01392 368 893.
Exactly, just a good old-fashioned cup of tea and visit a landmark. But be careful, that's what we always say. Just to round up, Judith at Bajuri really needs your help. She wants you to get involved in all aspects. It's a brilliant project. Give Judith a call on 07513 213257. Red Cross, it's now Mark you've got to speak to. Help out for their emergency service stuff, 01392 353 276. All aspects of things at the library, check on our website and get in touch with them. If you want to do a bit of rota coordination as well, give Joanne Launder a call, 01392 384 337. Go and help the Enterprise Centre fight off the Klingons and do some sorting of bric-a-brac and a bit of tagging and labelling. Give Tracy Barrable a call, 01392 428824. And finally, the ever so lovely John Fawkes wants to hear from you, taking the old people out, have a look at a good old landmark or two, and that is 01392 368893. But there's loads more, isn't there?
There's always loads more opportunities, so if you want to get involved in anything volunteering in your community, then give John or Emma a phone at the Volunteer Centre on 01392 2020 55.
You've been listening to the CVS show on Phonic FM. The show was produced by John Stammers and Nick Kiss for Exeter CVS. For more information about any of the issues raised in this programme, visit www.exetercvs.org.uk, email cvs@exetercvs.org.uk, call 01392 2020 55, or visit us weekdays 9:30 to 4:30 on King William Street. Exeter CVS is a registered charity supporting the community and voluntary sector in Exeter.